Hey everyone, how is it going? For this video, I thought I would do something a little different. It's not really more of like a story or a prediction or anything. It's more of kind of a rant and taking my perspective on something. So as you know, yesterday, the UFC 202 pre-fight presser happened. I'll leave a link to the video in the description. Make sure you check it out if you haven't seen already before you listen to this video. It's about half an hour. I mean, you can skip to some certain parts, but make sure you check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below. But I kind of want to talk about two things. I want to talk about the whole McGregor showing up late and Dana White's reaction to that, and of course the incident at the end between Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor. So the first part I wanted to talk about was the Dana White and Conor McGregor whole situation. Of course, the presser starts. You've got Anthony Johnson up there, you've got Nate Diaz up there, and you've got Glover Teixeira up there, but Conor McGregor isn't there and he's late, and Dana White looks upset, annoyed, and he starts being very short with his answers. Now, this is what I kind of wanted to talk about. Dana White has a history with bad relationships with the media. You can tell that when he's answering questions that he's very frustrated about the whole Conor McGregor being late situation. And initially the first few questions are about Conor McGregor. Where is Conor McGregor? And he answers very shortly and abruptly, like, okay, let's not talk about that. We only got a certain amount of time here in this room, so let's just get this over and done with, right? So a part of me, as an up-and-coming or an aspiring journalist, that's what I'm going to school for, part of me is saying, well, come on, give us some real answers why you have to be so rude about it. But a part of me also understands that he's upset that his main star is not there and it just doesn't show up. Clearly there was some miscommunication or something, but a part of me is saying, come on, Dana, this is your media, you don't want to come off looking as a bad guy. And for me, he just kind of looked like just a jerk up there, the way he was answering questions. And even when the press conference had gone on for a few minutes and Dana White was asked another question, he just kind of gave lackluster responses. And for me, I feel like Dana White shouldn't have acted that way. He should have taken the press conference more seriously. Not that he didn't take it seriously, but answer to these reporters' questions more seriously. That's your job as the president of the UFC. Don't be giving these one sentence answers and act like you don't care about their questions. Kind of take them more seriously. That's just my opinion. Okay, and lastly, the part about the Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor scuffle at the end. So this part I find to be very interesting, but I'm about to give you guys my theory on what it actually was. Now let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree, or what your take on that whole situation was. But hear this. I think that the UFC almost took a page out of their competitor, the WWE's book, professional wrestling's book, in this matchup. It was kind of like they were setting up for the fight. They were trying to sell the fight. That's the big thing in the WWE, and everyone knows that professional wrestling is fake. So why would you watch something that is fake? Because it's entertaining. If it's entertaining, how do they make it entertaining? They make it dramatic. They hype things up. And that's what the UFC, I think, has done here. I think that everyone knows about the first fight and what happened, and so all the hardcore fans are going to watch this fight no matter what, because of last fight. And what hyped up last fight? All the trash talking. And what is McGregor notorious for? The trash talking. This time what happened? Nate Diaz stands up out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. He was asked a question. It wasn't a bad question or anything. It was just out of nowhere. He answered the question, then after a few seconds just got up, left the podium, and started to walk behind the crowd. And you're like, what is going on? He starts flipping Conor McGregor the bird, swearing at him. Conor McGregor, of course, responds, calling his camp a bunch of crackheads. So that itself is a little strange. And then it gets to the point where Nate Diaz starts throwing water bottles at Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor, of course, responds by picking up water bottles off the podium and throwing them back at Nate Diaz from across the room. Of course, Dana White tells Conor to stop, but Conor doesn't listen, and he continues to throw them. And it's a very weird way of, like, hyping up a fight. I don't know if it's staged. In my opinion, I think it's staged. I think they did something that they know will get some attention. Throwing water bottles at each other from across the room is strange. It's weird. But it will get good publicity, and that's part of the reason why I think they might have done it. It's just the way that it happened out of nowhere with Nate Diaz getting up. It's like they knew that the crowd was there and watching for the trash talk, and the press conference going on. I think people were realizing, oh, maybe this is kind of a more calm press conference than normal, especially with Anthony Johnson and Glover Teixeira being so nice to each other and just talking normally. This Diaz-McGregor thing, I think, was staged to hype up the fight, get more of the non-hardcore fans, more of the casual fans back into the fight to watch McGregor versus Diaz 2. That's just my opinion. I think they might have staged it. Could have been real, but my opinion, just the way that whole situation went about, I think it was staged. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of this whole situation. Make sure you leave a like if you agree.